how did your story progress then? You got in, and you were in there for, you said, around a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
What were your experiences as a member, both good and bad, and how did you find that it impacted you, both emotionally, spiritually? How did it impact your overall life as you progress?
So, um, in the beginning, of course, I thought this was something good. I was meditating on the word a lot, I was reading a lot, so I thought it was good. But coming to find out that it was actually lies and deception, and like some of the signs that I saw, hopefully I'm answering the question, um, was like, for example, the person that was assigned to me is called a leaf buddy to basically watch like things that are going on. So if you tell them something that's concerning, they tell their leader, and their leader gives them advice, and they come back to you.
Hmm.
So I found out
So
that
kind of spying. They
yeah,
connect
yeah,
you with this other person to basically be your personal, not
but
your personal, but the spy who's attached to you specifically.
yeah, in the pretense of we're doing Bible study together, we're sharing our struggles together. Unfortunately or fortunately, the spy mistakenly sent me a screenshot of our conversation. So I
Oh,
believe she meant to send it to the
oh no,
teacher, but she
awkward.
sent it to me. So I was surprised, but I thought that was weird, but I didn't think too deep. And I didn't ask. I don't know why I didn't
Yeah.
ask, but I was just like, okay. So after that, I had a realization that was evangelized to. And what I mean by that is because Elle didn't tell me the name of this church, right? So I just thought it was a Bible study. But I came to find out that it was actually a church, and she was evangelizing to me. So our friendship is not based on truth, but based on lies. So I felt um, I was deceived, and I confronted them about it. But they told me, like, hey, assuming she told you up front who they were or what the Bible study was about, would I have, believed in their study, right? And my answer was no. But they're like, but now you're understanding the word, right? So um shouldn't we have a thankful and grateful heart towards the people that bring us into the study? And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Um, so that was just one big sign. Kind of how I say, what is that word when they kind of twist it to kind of make you feel guilty?
Gaslighting.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
being yeah, I was being
Yeah.
gaslighted.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting. I have Steve Hassan's bite model.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who aren't familiar with him, he's a former cult member. The Mooney cult was the one he was involved in, but he's since come out and over the past decades has become one of the cult experts in the world, and he's developed a model with specific points where you can kind of identify between high demand, high control groups that are you know more cult-like in their tendencies between that and more healthy, religious structures. And so it's just interesting because right before you mentioned just a few minutes ago about the buddy system, I have the bite model pulled up, and I had just seen that one of the defining points to look for to identify a high demand, high control cult group is one of the things that they will do is encourage spying on other members, and they will, typically will impose some kind of a buddy system to monitor and control member. They will report on deviant thoughts, feelings, and actions to leadership. And so that's important to understand that the reason they implement buddy systems or spy systems is because, like in your instance, for example, that person who was assigned to you, they want that person to pick up on any deviant thoughts you're having. In other words, any doubts, any things you're feeling toward the group, negative thoughts, things that might grow and turn into you ultimately leaving the group. They want to pick up on those things early on so they can know what they need to do, how they need to specifically, manipulate and lie and deceive you to keep you in. And so they'll implement, that buddy system. And so it says that they will ensure that individual behavior is monitored by the group. And so just something worth pointing out that this is that is the one of his very clearly laid out points that is an identifier of deceptive cult groups, and you're pretty clearly saying that this is definitely something that you experienced.
Yes.